You ever get that gut feeling something's off? The smile looks forced. The words sound polite, but deep down, they don't like you. Here's the thing: people rarely come out and say, I don't like you. Instead, they hide it. But if you pay attention, the truth is always there. Let me break it down for you. The fake smile, their lips are smiling, but their eyes aren't. A real smile lights up the face. Cheeks rise, eyes crinkle. A fake one, it's just lip service. Watch the eyes, they never lie. Short responses. When someone likes you, they engage. They add to the conversation. But if all you're getting is, yeah, ha, or that's nice, they're not interested in connecting with you. That's not shyness, it's avoidance. They avoid eye contact. Eye contact is a sign of respect and interest. If someone constantly looks past you at their phone or anywhere else, that's a silent way of saying, I don't value this interaction. Subtle body language. Watch the body. Are their arms crossed? Do their feet point away from you? The body always exposes what the mouth hides. Distance, barriers, and closed off posture all scream dislike. They don't remember details. If you've told them something important and they forget it over and over, it's not forgetfulness, it's indifference. People remember what matters to them. If you don't matter, your words don't either. Backhanded compliments. Oh, wow, you're actually good at this. That color looks nice on you, for once. That's not kindness. That's subtle hostility dressed up as a compliment. Don't let it slide. Their energy shifts around you. Pay attention to the vibe. Do they act upbeat with others, then suddenly go flat when you walk in? That's not your imagination. Energy doesn't lie. You don't need everyone to like you. What matters is that you can spot the truth and decide how to deal with it. Some people will hide their dislike behind polite words, but if you sharpen your awareness, you'll see through the act. So stop second guessing yourself. Trust what people show you, not just what they say to you. The eyes and body reveal what words try to hide. Human beings are wired to communicate beyond language, and most of that communication happens non-verbally. We think we can cover up how we feel with polite words, forced smiles, or carefully rehearsed responses, but the truth always seeps out through the smallest signals. The eyes, the posture, the tilt of the head, the way someone uses space, all of it reveals the story behind the mask. You may hear someone say, I'm fine, or I'm happy for you, but if you look closely, the body tells you otherwise. The reason is simple: words are conscious, but body language is subconscious. You can train your mouth to say the right things, but the body responds in real time, without the filter, and it always betrays how a person truly feels. Think about the eyes first. They are the most honest part of the human face. When someone likes you, their eyes open wider, they engage, they light up. There's a spark of attention, even excitement. But when dislike is present, even if hidden, the eyes lose that openness. They narrow, glance away, or fail to hold contact for long. A forced smile, paired with eyes that stay cold and lifeless, is a classic giveaway. No one can fake that sparkle. Even micro-expressions, the tiny flashes of emotion that last less than a second, can betray irritation, contempt, or boredom before a person regains control. You might catch a fleeting eye roll, a quick squint, or even a flash of disgust across the face. These moments are so fast you almost doubt what you saw, but your instincts pick them up, and they are usually right. Body posture is another truth teller. Someone may say they're comfortable around you, but if their arms are crossed tightly, their shoulders pulled in, and their torso angled away, their body is screaming something else. The direction of the feet is especially powerful. Feet naturally point toward where someone wants to go. If they're turned toward the door or away from you, Even while the person's upper body is facing you, that's a subtle sign of wanting to exit the interaction. Dislike often hides itself in these quiet, physical cues. A person doesn't need to insult you out loud to show you that they don't want to be near you. There's also the matter of proximity. People who are comfortable and genuinely like someone will reduce distance, lean in, and seek closeness. But if they dislike you and are trying to cover it up, they might lean back ever so slightly, create space with objects, or maintain just a little too much distance. The body craves distance from what it doesn't like. They may not say it, but they'll place that coffee cup between you like a shield or subtly move their chair a few inches back. These are small moves, but they are powerful indicators. Gestures are another way dislike leaks out. Someone who's warm and engaged will use open-handed gestures, palms visible, movements that invite you in. But when there's hidden dislike, gestures can become restrained, stiff, or even defensive. They might touch their face more, rub the back of their neck, or fiddle with an object to release tension. These movements aren't random. They're stress signals, signs the person is uncomfortable in your presence. Again, their words may sound kind, but the body is expressing the discomfort they don't want to say out loud. The voice is part of the body too, and it often gives away more than people intend. Someone might keep their words polite, but the tone, the pace, or the sharpness betrays them. A clipped answer, a sigh slipped between sentences, or an exaggeratedly cheerful tone that feels fake. These are auditory signals that point to underlying dislike. The mouth can choose the words, but the body carries the tone, and the tone rarely lies. Consider also the difference in behavior between interactions. Watch how someone acts with others, then notice how that shifts when you arrive. If their energy drops, if their gestures close off, if their eyes avoid yours, that contrast is telling you something important. The body is a comparative tool. When you see the difference between how they treat you and how they treat others, the truth becomes clear. You don't need them to confess dislike. Their behavior already has. It's important to trust your instincts in these moments. Many people second guess themselves thinking, maybe I'm imagining it, maybe they're just tired. But the subconscious brain is excellent at reading body language. Long before you logically process a fake smile, your body senses the mismatch and sends you a gut feeling. That unease is your signal that something is wrong. The conflict between words and body language creates tension, and you feel it even if you can't explain it in the moment. Every culture may have different norms around eye contact, gestures, or proximity, but the underlying truth is universal. The body betrays emotion. Dislike is hard to hide because it's emotionally charged. Strong emotions leave marks on posture, expression, and energy. Someone who truly admires you won't need to force their body into openness. It happens naturally. Likewise, someone who secretly dislikes you can rehearse polite words, but their body always lags behind the act. This is why learning to observe people's eyes and body language is such a powerful tool. It lets you see the reality beneath the surface, to detect hostility before it becomes open conflict, to sense coldness behind the friendly words, to recognize when you're being tolerated instead of welcomed. It doesn't mean you should confront every person you suspect of disliking you. It means you adjust your expectations, protect your energy, and move with awareness. Indifference speaks louder than hostility. People often assume that if someone dislikes them, it will come out as open conflict, harsh words, or obvious rejection. But in truth, the strongest signal that a person has no positive regard for you is not anger, it's indifference. Anger, irritation, even open criticism still require energy and attention. For someone to get angry with you, you matter enough to provoke emotion. But indifference, That is the absence of care, the silence that tells you everything. It is when your presence doesn't spark any genuine interest, when your words pass through without meaning, when your absence wouldn't make the slightest difference. That is the truest sign of hidden dislike. You can hear indifference in the way someone responds to you. When a person values you, their responses carry thought, curiosity, or follow up questions. They engage, they build on what you say, they remember details and connect them later. But when they are indifferent, their answers shrink into short phrases. Yeah. Okay. Sure. That's fine. These are not just words. They are signals of disconnection. They are placeholders designed to close the conversation without inviting depth. A hostile person may at least debate you, argue with you, or challenge your ideas. An indifferent person will give you nothing at all. You can also feel indifference in the absence of memory. If you tell someone about your goals, your family, or something important that matters to you, and time after time they forget, it is not because their memory is bad. People remember what matters to them. They remember the names of people they admire, the details of stories that interest them, the small things that connect them to others they respect. Forgetting is not always an accident. Often it is a quiet form of dismissal. By failing to hold on to the things you share, they are showing that your world does not register in theirs. There is a subtlety in indifference that makes it more powerful than direct hostility. Hostility declares itself. If someone openly dislikes you, you can see it, address it, or avoid it. But indifference is silent. It creeps into the small cracks of your interactions. It shows up when you are left out of a conversation, when no one bothers to include you in plans, when your successes are ignored and your struggles go unnoticed. It does not explode, it erases. And being erased is far more painful than being opposed. Indifference can be spotted in body language just as much as in words. People who like you will naturally orient themselves toward you, lean in, and show openness. Indifferent people do not bother to create those signals. They do not close off aggressively. Instead, they simply fail to open up. Their posture remains neutral. Their gaze drifts elsewhere. Their energy feels absent, even when they are standing right in front of you. It is as though you are talking to a wall that politely nods but never truly listens. The body mirrors the mind, and an indifferent mind has no reason to send signals of warmth or care. You might also notice indifference through time and effort or the lack of it. People reveal what they value by what they invest in. If someone likes you, they make time, they return calls, they respond with thought, they show up. If they dislike you quietly, their effort vanishes, they take longer to reply, or they don't reply at all. When they do, their responses lack energy, as though interacting with you is just another task to be checked off. Hostility burns hot, but indifference is cold and slow, like a door that closes quietly and never opens again. Indifference also shows itself in opportunities. Pay attention to how people behave when they have the chance to support you, recommend you, or include you. If they truly value you, they will think of you, mention your name, or pull you into rooms where opportunities exist. If they are indifferent, you are invisible. They will not attack you, but they will not lift you either. You are not on their radar. That absence, that quiet omission, is louder than any insult. Sometimes indifference hides behind politeness. People may smile, nod, and say the right words, but there is no warmth behind it. You can feel the mechanical rhythm of it, the automatic courtesy. It is not connection, it is routine. They are not with you in the moment. They are simply going through motions to keep up appearances. This is where many people get confused because they mistake politeness for liking. But politeness without substance is one of the clearest signs of hidden dislike. Another way indifference reveals itself is in the lack of emotional reaction. When you share good news, someone who cares will celebrate with you, even if just a little. When you share a struggle, they will show empathy, even in small gestures. But the indifferent person has no reaction. They might nod, say, "That's nice," or quickly move the subject elsewhere. Their lack of emotional response tells you that your experiences do not matter to them. And the absence of emotion is more telling than any negative reaction. The silence of indifference also makes it powerful because it leaves you questioning yourself, unlike hostility, which is clear and external. Indifference is vague and internal. You begin to wonder if you are imagining it, if you are the one at fault, if maybe they are just busy or distracted. This self-doubt is exactly what makes indifference so corrosive. It denies you the clarity of conflict while still draining you of energy. You feel the weight of being ignored without the closure of being told why. Indifference is not always permanent. Sometimes it comes from jealousy, insecurity, or even distraction. But when it is consistent, when every word, every gesture, every response is muted, it is a message you cannot afford to ignore. It is the body and the behavior telling you that you hold no real place in their mind. And in the end, it is far more damaging than open hostility because at least hostility acknowledges your presence. Indifference removes it altogether. Energy never lies. Watch the shift around you. Human beings broadcast their true feelings through energy long before they choose their words. You can sense it when you walk into a room. The mood changes even if no one says a thing. People often underestimate how sensitive we are to energy, but it is the oldest form of human communication. Before we had language, we relied on reading each other's signals, tension in the air, the warmth or coldness in a gaze, the way a group would shift when someone approached. That instinct never left us, and it still serves as the most reliable detector of hidden dislike. When someone appreciates you, their energy lifts. Their voice carries more warmth. Their expressions brighten. Their movements open up. You feel welcome without them needing to declare it. But when dislike is present, the opposite happens. The air gets heavier, the interaction feels forced, and their entire demeanor shifts the moment you arrive. They may keep smiling, they may say the right things, but you can feel the drop. Energy is not something you can fake for long. The body struggles to keep up the performance, and sooner or later, the truth bleeds through. Consider how someone behaves in a group setting. When you are not around, they may be animated, laughing, and fully engaged. But when you walk in, the atmosphere changes, their voice flattens, their shoulders stiffen, the sparkle disappears. That shift tells you more than any words could. No one can maintain genuine enthusiasm when they secretly dislike someone. The contrast between how they act with others and how they act with you is the clearest signal of all. Energy also reveals itself in subtle timing. Pay attention to the rhythm of conversation. With people who like you, dialogue flows easily. There are pauses, but they feel natural, filled with comfort. With those who dislike you, silence grows awkward and heavy. They cut conversations short. They hesitate before responding, or they let the air linger just long enough to communicate disinterest. Even without realizing it, they drain the interaction of energy because their mind is elsewhere. Watch also for mirroring, or rather, the absence of it. People who are in sync with you will unconsciously mirror your posture, gestures, or even tone. It is the body's way of saying, "I connect with you." When someone dislikes you, they break that pattern. Their body resists alignment. They avoid synchronizing, and the energy between you feels out of step. That lack of harmony is not a mistake. It is a reflection of the emotional divide. Energy is not just what someone shows, it is also what they withhold. Notice how much effort they invest when speaking with you. Are they giving you full attention, or are they distracted, scanning the room, glancing at their phone? Dislike often shows up as withheld presence. They may stay polite, but their energy is elsewhere, and you feel that distance immediately. True attention has weight. False attention feels hollow. Another way energy exposes itself is through consistency. Anyone can fake politeness for a moment, but maintaining false energy is exhausting. Over time, the mask slips. Their tone gets sharper, their patience shorter, their willingness to engage thinner. Small cracks appear: a sigh, a rolled eye, a delayed response. Each one alone may seem minor, but together, they form a pattern of hidden dislike. The energy keeps leaking out despite their best efforts to hide it. You can also measure energy by how someone reacts to your successes or failures. When you share good news with someone who values you, their energy rises, they smile, celebrate, and reflect excitement back to you. But when you share the same news with someone who dislikes you, you feel the drop. Their smile doesn't reach their eyes. Their congratulations feel obligatory. Their energy doesn't match the moment. The same happens when you share struggles. Someone who truly cares will show empathy and lean in with warmth. Someone who dislikes you will keep their energy flat, as if your challenges mean nothing. That lack of emotional resonance speaks volumes. Pay attention to patterns over time. Energy is most obvious in repetition. One encounter might be explained away. Maybe they were tired, distracted, or stressed. But if the shift happens every time you are around, it is not coincidence. Consistent changes in energy signal consistent feelings beneath the surface. People cannot disguise how they feel indefinitely. The body language, tone, and atmosphere betray them again and again. Energy also affects space. Notice how people position themselves. Do they draw closer to you, or do they create distance? Do they linger when the conversation ends, or do they find ways to leave quickly? The way they manage physical space mirrors the way they feel emotionally. Someone who likes you leans in, closes distance, and lingers. Someone who dislikes you subtly steps back, keeps space, and exits fast. The words may sound the same, but the energy of proximity tells the truth. Another layer of energy shows up in interruptions and engagement. People who enjoy your presence naturally let you speak. They react with curiosity and they engage fully. People who dislike you interrupt more, cut you off, or fail to respond in meaningful ways. It is not always deliberate. It's the energy of disinterest. Their impatience leaks through their behavior. They cannot mask their lack of investment in the exchange. The most powerful part of energy is that it is felt, not always seen. You might not be able to explain why someone makes you feel drained after being around them, but your instincts pick up on the subtle cues, the tension in their tone, the stiffness in their movements, the lack of genuine warmth. These cues combine into an energetic impression that your body recognizes even if your mind tries to dismiss it. That uneasy feeling is not paranoia, it is perception. Energy is the one truth people cannot hide forever. They can fake smiles, rehearse compliments, and use polite words, but the shift in how they show up around you reveals everything. Your task is to notice the change, to trust your instincts, and to recognize that energy speaks louder than anything else they might say.